Unst, the island at the end of Britain. A spectacular, varied and interesting island. Packed into an area just 12 miles long by 5 miles wide are stupendous cliffs, jagged sea stacks, sheltered inlets, golden beaches, nature reserves, and even a unique subarctic stony desert. Unst is as far north as southern Greenland. It takes 2 ferries from Shetland mainland to reach here. 3 shops, 2 cafes, 2 petrol stations and no pub, for a population of less than 700 and those tourists who make the long journey to come here in the summer months. And there is plenty for all to see. The east of Unst is an ophiolite, a section of the Earth's crust from beneath the ocean that collided with an ancient continent and was pushed up onto it 420 million years ago. Here at Norwich you can stride across the point where ophiolite and continent meet. We are stepping from the rocks of an ancient landmass to rocks that originated deep below the ocean bed within the Earth's mantle. The rocks on the north side of the bay were originally sandy shale, laid down in shallow seas around the edge of the ancient continent. They were altered to phyllite by heat and pressure during the collision. On the south side of the bay we find the rocks of the ophiolite. The contact between the 2 kinds of rock runs along a shallow trench, often filled with sand, on the north side of the Tyne. In most of Unst, the rocks of the ophiolite have been thrust over the continental rock, but here the contact is a shear, where the 2 have been pushed sideways past one another. Another remarkable feature of the island of Unst is the Keen of Hamar. Hamar is Old Norse for rocky outcrop on the hillside. The serpentine rocks here originally formed deep beneath the oceans and aren't normally found on land. They were thrown up during dramatic earth movements some 400 million years ago and have weathered to produce a sparse soil that's among the oldest and poorest in Britain. This barren landscape is probably how much of northern Europe looked as the ice retreated after the last ice age some 11,000 years ago. First impressions of the Keen of Hamar are of a stony waste ground, a barren, bleak and lifeless rocky desert. But a closer look shows a delicate carpet of tiny and often very rare plants. This lunar landscape has a special appeal all of its own, and for a botanist it's heaven. We're at Hermaness now, approaching the cliffs. At the moment all is quiet, we can't hear the birds, but we've been walking over the moors and it's been glistening in the sun. Really beautiful. One of the birds that you're warned about when you come to Hermaness are the bonxes, or the great skuas, for they can dive bomb you when they're trying to protect their nest, and as their name implies, they are big birds. You can't mistake them as you walk along because you see them on the peat, and when they're in the air they come down quite low and can be quite alarming. They're called the pirates of the bird world, and the puffins have to watch out for them because they will try to attack them and make them drop their fish that they've caught, and then that means that's an easy catch for the bonxes. Standing on the cliffs at Hermaness is such an impressive sight. The rocks are dramatic and jagged and rugged. The great stacks of them out to sea are covered by the gannets, and when the sun shines on them they're a brilliant white. And then to watch them swirling around in the air currents, silently going as they've done for thousands of years, it's a very awe-inspiring sight. The sheep obviously feel safe on Hermaness, though it looks so perilous to us that doesn't matter to them. And then there are signs warning humans to keep away from the cliff edge because they're crumbling away, but sheep can't read. This is the most northerly point in the UK, looking across to Flugga Lighthouse. Nothing between us and the North Pole. While Flugga Lighthouse was manned, it was the most northerly inhabited island in the UK. But now that it is automated, the most northerly island is Unst. There are hundreds of puffins on Hermaness, but it is a matter of luck as to whether you see them, and they're not that easy to spot. Sometimes they are seen swirling around as they go off to sea to catch their fish, and other times waddling on the cliffs and then popping down into their burrows.